And welcome back to the Omaha Central Broadcasting Spring Sports Showcase. My name is Charlie Yale, and I'm joined by my co-host Ann Carlson, along with a stacked lineups of some of the biggest names in Central sports. Starting here shortly with Athletic Director Rob Locken, will give you a preview of what to look for the stands or the screen as we rapidly approach this spring sports season. Of course, this broadcast was made possible by the Omaha Central High School Foundation and its Generation C members, providing opportunities just like this one to every single Eagle. And of course, we'd like to give a thank you to the University of Nebraska at Omaha for allowing us to use their fantastic facilities tonight, giving us a look at what our futures in sport broadcasting could look like. I'm going to stop yapping now. Without further ado, let's welcome Athletic Director Rob Locken to the show. Mr. Locken, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing very well. Very excited. I'm just looking at this program that we've had. I remember in the spring when we started out in our faculty room and how much it's grown. It's just fun to watch all of you as kids as you've grown up through this program, Mr. Beckman, Dr. Bigsby, what they've done to grow this. It's been a fast and furious 12 months to see where we started out and where we are right now. So very excited to be here, being at UNO. It's a great opportunity for everybody to get that exposure to what it will look like at the next level when you go to college.
Yeah, absolutely. We love getting the experience on this side. Okay, so 2 down, 1 to go. What are some of your largest highlights from the winter season? What are you most looking forward to come this March and beyond?
Highlights from the winter season. It's been a great year at Central. At Central, we're always very fortunate. We have a lot of high caliber athletes and coaches are working very hard. The highlights we have, let's look at just fresh off of state wrestling. We have Kevin Boston. He was our 125th individual state champion. So that was very special to see him come through that and work hard and make that achievement. Very excited to see what he did. Our wrestling program has been a great family environment on the boys and girls side. Coach Storm and Coach Foster have done a great job of pushing and promoting our kids. So it's been a fun season to watch them. They took 3 wrestlers for the girls, 3 for the boys to the state tournament, and all of them, they were competing. They came out and they worked very hard. Just was fortunate enough to come back from Lincoln today watching our sophomore Owen Johnson. He won the Metro Dive a couple weeks ago out at Millard West. I mean, we are a conference of 21 schools, so that is huge to have a Omaha Central kid go out there and come out on top on diving. And today I was very excited to see him compete. He climbed the ladder on some kids that had beat him during the season, and he had a 4th place finish in the state individual diving contest. So very excited to see what he's doing. Coach Hansen, our dive coach, has done a great job developing him, and he's just a sophomore. So we're very excited to see what the future brings for him. Looking at the basketball season, it's been a wild basketball season. We have 2 top 10 programs in our boys and girls. We went through the Christmas season, and that was very special to go all the way through the finals of the Metro Holiday Tournament to see our kids swinging at that level. Our girls right now will play tomorrow night at Millard North, so we're hoping to see them come take care of business and punch their ticket and go to state. And the boys will start their journey of hopefully 5 games on Saturday when they host Lincoln East, and they should go through Lincoln Pius. But both those programs, very excited to see them, see what they're going to do out on the court, because we are very, very quick, very athletic, and very talented. So very proud of all the sports this winter. It's just been a fun run, and it's kind of hard to imagine that we are starting to sunset the winter sports season as we go through it. And Monday, it's go time for our spring sports.
Absolutely. Well, come spring, come outside sports. What are some of the challenges? Winter, most of those teams play inside. What are the considerations you have to make when teams are playing outside, maybe in the snow, maybe in the rain?
The spring sports has always been challenged at Central High, and for a couple reasons, because we excel in the winter sports. What I mean by that is our basketball teams usually go to Lincoln, so that usually eliminates the gym. And right now we are very spoiled when you look outside enjoying this beautiful weather. I'm hoping it's going to stick around for the start of the season, but usually when we're starting spring sports, we have a baseball field we're waiting for it to dry out from the snow. We usually have a track we're waiting for the snow to melt. Or when we're looking at the temperature, sometimes it's not conducive to have our sprinters outdoors doing workouts when it's in the 30 degree and the wind shields are not there. So that's always a challenge. Our coaches do an amazing job of working together and kind of triaging Our track kids will usually go up on the second and third floors to do their workouts. Baseball, we usually shift to coming in after basketball's over so they can practice in the gym when the weather's not conducive. So it's one of those situations where all of our coaches do a great job of working together, just so we can kind of make it through, because spring sports, it's just hard to tell. We usually joke with baseball, we schedule 24 games, hoping to get at least 20 in, just depending on what Mother Nature will let us do. And it's usually an adventure. We hope for sunshine and rainbows, but just depends on what we're throwing at each day. Sometimes early mornings we're on the phone trying to see if we can play on the fields. Fields are playable. Soccer is one. I appreciate the sport of soccer because we're field turf, and those are some very hard-nosed kids, and we usually play through about anything in soccer.
Absolutely. It's great to keep that at the front of the mind. So we're going to have him on later today, but you have a new boys track and field coach. Take us through the hire of Coach Reynolds and why he's a good fit for this team.
Coach Reynolds, I was very excited when Coach Reynolds applied, wanted to take over the reins of our track program. One of the things that I really appreciate about him, besides his passion for track, is he is from the Central family. So when he comes here, he wants to give back to our building. He wants to take our kids and get them competing at the high level. Hurdles was his passion, but it's one he brings in a lot of knowledge to the sport. Our kids, there's a natural fit because he was on Coach Lloyd's coaching staff that was state runners-up 2 years ago. So we're very excited to see where he's going to take the program and push our kids. And he's been working hard with them in the off season along with our other coaches in sports.
Absolutely. So next fall, we're going to have score vision boards in the gym as well as the football field. What do these boards sort of add to the athletic events? Sort of how do they increase the ambiance for us?
We're very excited to get these boards up and running because it's something that can work very nicely with our Strive broadcasting crew, where we can have the instant replay up there. It's one of those situations. We are Omaha Central High, so we're going to push it to the max what all we can use those boards for. Because it's one, they can sit up there and just have pictures of kids that make a touchdown, an ace in volleyball, or a dunk in basketball, or what have you. But with our Central High staff and students, we will maximize that. We will really try to highlight the game and add a little more of the experience, because sometimes when you're watching it, you don't catch it all, and then it's fun to see it up on the big board when it's an amazing play, a great catch, a great tackle, or a great serve. So we're very excited to have that become a part of our facility.
Absolutely. And this is a question we ask every year, but it's so important because the athletic department has so many staff. Who are some of the people in the department that help things run so smooth and that keep everything in Central Athletics possible?
Yeah, because one, absolutely. When you look at the size of Central, we are a huge campus. The expectations of Central are always run very high. Mr. Paul Nielsen, he does an amazing job. He's been around. I think I might be his sixth athletic director that he's helped now. So he's a fixture of the building. He will be a lifelong employee of Central, just bleeds purple. He's one of my assistant ADs, and he also oversees the International Baccalaureate program. He wears multiple hats. Very grateful for him because he just makes the job just a little easier. He takes care of a lot of the details. Sarah Evans, one of our dean of students, she's also Central High alumni. She also serves as an assistant AD, and she will help with lining up workers for events and the scheduling logistics. Rachel Adams, she's my athletic secretary at Central. She's a very invaluable resource to have. She's from everything from getting buses lined up, vans lined up, to just schedule changes, because the springtime, it will get a little wild and crazy when Mother Nature starts throwing us reschedules. So she's doing everything from help coordinating officials for when we're canceling to rescheduling. I have Coach Krupa, our girls basketball coach, will help out during the spring season as an assistant AD too. I appreciate his value and knowledge and he also has the passion for athletics. He will help go attend events and get workers for us as well. The big thing that I've never talked about before, and that's my fault, is the Strive crew. That's the one thing where it's a huge advantage at Omaha Central High, because you can sit at home or you can be halfway around the world. We do have viewers from around the world that'll sit there and watch our soccer contests on Strive, or I know we've done swim on Strive, our basketball games. So that's one of the advantages we have compared to some of our other colleague buildings throughout the city of Omaha that use different platforms. It's just the high quality of a broadcast that we put out there that really showcases the work our student athletes are doing on the field and our coaches are doing to make them better. So that's another invaluable part. I appreciate Mr. Beckman and Dr. Bigsby, the work they do, and Michelle from our Central High Foundation for helping underwrite, because you look at the equipment that we have, especially for Strive, it is top notch.
Absolutely. Well, I know I'm speaking for the entire Strive staff here when we say we are very thankful for you. Mr. Locken, those are all of the questions I have prepared for you. Thank you so much for joining the show tonight. I know we're all looking forward to a fantastic spring season.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to seeing where we end the winter sports and looking forward to kicking off the spring. Go Eagles.
When we're talking about our students living in the digital age that they live in, it is so easy for them to access information and share their own perspectives. But we've also entered into the era of echo chambers online, where people often surround themselves with others with similar views. And the ability to engage in civil discourse, where you are expected to back up the claims you're making with evidence, is often lacking. And so helping the students to engage in that discourse, engage in that process of examination in a classroom where it's safe is so important, so that when they go to university next year, or they enter, the career field next year, that they're able to engage with people who have different opinions in a respectful way, but also in a way that pushes others to think as well as themselves.
And welcome back to the Omaha Central Broadcasting Spring Sports Showcase. My name is Charlie, and I'm joined here by some members of the girls' tennis program, starting with assistant coach Tucker, Ella Levy, and Shruti Garpati, both seniors. Coach Tucker, let's start with you. You're the head coach for the guys' team and the assistant coach for the girls' team. So, what are some similarities and differences between coaching these two teams?
Really, there's more similarities than there are differences. Good tennis is good tennis, regardless if you're a JV player or a varsity player, either on the men's or the women's team. Building good fundamentals, building up good strategies, basic strategy of tennis. It's pretty much the same across the board. We also have to deal with weather. In the boys' season, it's excessive heat, and in the girls' season, it's excessive cold. So those are some of the challenges that we face on both teams. So overall, it's pretty much similar to from level to level and men to women.
Absolutely. So, Ella and Trudy, I'm going to throw this one to you. Both of y'all are seniors who have come into leadership roles on this team over the past 4 years. So, tell me about some of the seniors who've had the largest impact on you and what you guys hope to provide for some of the underclassmen who are just starting out on your team this year.
Yeah, so when we were freshmen and sophomores, there were these two seniors on team, Sarah and Eliana, and they would take Shruti and I like for rides, and we would like get food and like we'd get ice cream, and like they were just so much fun, and we would like all tell stories and they give advice. So I think like this year I'm really hoping to bond with the team in more ways than just tennis and be a figurehead for them.
Yeah, definitely the rides was very helpful for us. Yeah, because we had no way to get there. Also, they were really good. Like they gave advice about like handling school your senior year because like you're missing a lot of school with tennis. So it was helpful to have them to kind of tell us what to expect.
Absolutely. So, Shruti, this next one is for you. You spent most of your season last year playing doubles. Are we going to see some of the same from you this year? Or are you considering switching it up for this season? What factors into that decision? And as a player, what is the difference between singles and doubles?
Yeah, so last year I chose to do doubles mainly because singles sometimes I feel like people don't realize how like mentally exhausting tennis can be. Like you're out there by yourself, you have to be focusing every second. And I kind of wasn't having as much fun with tennis, and like last year I just really wanted to like fall in love with tennis again and just have fun. And doubles is really fun because you have someone with you that you can like cheer you on, and like if you are upset about losing a point, they're there for you. So it's nice having someone there with you, and also it's kind of a different game. Like there's some shots you don't hit in singles, but you do in doubles, and it's just really fun. This year, I think I'm like ready to play singles again. I had fun last year, but this year, I also really like singles, so looking forward to that.
Absolutely. So, Ella, this one's for you. What are some of the ways you prepare for a meet? What's running through your mind as you're thinking about a match or a specific opponent?
Yeah, so like Shruti said, tennis is a mental game, and this last year I played number 2 singles, and in between every point, like honestly, I would talk to myself and I'd be like, you got this, like one more point, you can do this. So I think like it's mostly a mental battle, so like I do a lot of like self-talk, and self-confidence is a really big part of tennis, especially when you're a singles player. And when preparing for a match, I mean, it's nice to have like a good warm-up and all like laugh and be loose for the warm-up, and a hype playlist never hurts.
Absolutely. So both of y'all, along with being fantastic athletes, are exemplary as students. How do you balance the tennis season? I know you were hinting at it earlier, which often requires missing school with your classwork. Ella, let's start with you.
Okay, tennis it's so much missing school. I've definitely struggled with it in the past. There's a lot of like either coming in early or staying late when you don't understand something or you've missed a test, and things like that, especially with challenging classes. Missing class just is a very difficult thing to do. So it takes extra time to do it, but if like me with tennis, like it's something I love. So I put up with the work and I do it.
I've just like been lucky, and I had really understanding teachers. I'm not the most organized person, and they've been really helpful at letting me catch up. And if I've missed school, it is like sometimes hard to balance missing school, but also I feel like the practice after school every day, sometimes you'll be really tired after, and it's hard to find motivation to like do your work, but it's just like fun playing tennis, so it's all worth it. Yeah.
Absolutely. And Coach, what are some of the ways that you help your players between schoolwork and tennis? How do you help them balance that?
Well, again, we try to tell this players when we're having matches or tournaments, make sure that they're talking to their teachers. We also have academic coaching at Central. We work through that as well to help support the kids. and try to be a go-between if they need help, trying to talk to a teacher about missing class, tests, those kinds of things.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and being a teacher myself, I understand all of that and can kind of hopefully communicate that with other staff members.
Absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. So this is my last question, and then I'll let y'all just touch on anything you want to. But I want to ask you about goals or things you're specifically excited about for this upcoming season. I know for you two, you're both seniors, but Coach, any players that you're excited about who are coming up through the program? We can start with Shruti and Ella.
I feel like for this season, like mainly the goal is just, again, to like have fun because I'm playing singles again, just to, like work hard, but also not let that get in the way of, me enjoying tennis. And so yeah, that's like my personal goal at least.
I would really like to bring some livelihood back into the sport and back into the Central team specifically. It's Trude and I's last year, and I want to leave the team like strong and good, and I want to leave an impact. So I think this year a really big goal of mine is just getting the team to bond.
And as far as we had some very good JV players last year that are going to be moving up, taking over some roles of seniors that graduated last year. And as always, my goal as a coach is to be at that top level within the OPS schools and be very competitive with the suburban schools. So that's what we're trying to accomplish this year.
Fantastic. Is there anything else that any of y'all would like to touch on about this upcoming season?
People need to show up to our games. Come on, guys.
Where are your games? Where can people find you?
We have, so our home games, we play at Dewey, and then our away games a lot of schools have their tennis courts.
And we also play a lot of tournaments out at Coke.
Yeah.
And we know what to drive. But you guys have been driving hockey, you've been driving to basketball. You can do it. This is the year. I promise it's fun.
Absolutely. And you can find those schedules on the Omaha Central Athletics Twitter and the Omaha Central Girls Tennis Twitter specifically. Once again, Ella Levy, Shruti Garpati, and Coach Tucker, thank you for joining us, and best of luck on your season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job, guys.
Okay, now we're good.
I need to try it first.
My name is Leslie Gatch and graduated from Central High in 1964. Because I always want Central to be number one. When I was there, we were proud to be the best high school in the state. You want that to carry on. Our yearbook. So this is the old picture of Central with the parking lot and the smokestack. My first year at Central in algebra, had Irene Eden was my teacher, and she just instilled this love of algebra, and I wanted to get a perfect score on every paper, and so I think the teachers, I had English, history, and math teachers that didn't always ask you, questions about who, what, where, and why, but they instilled critical thinking. Meredith Brokaw, Tom Brokaw's wife, was an English teacher at Central High School. When I graduated, I got a Naval ROTC scholarship to Iowa State, and then the next year I got an appointment to the Naval Academy. So I graduated from Naval Academy in 1969, and then I went to work for the Navy in D.C. for 4 years, and to Maryland, and worked for one of the intelligence agencies for the next 29 years in computers. So retired in 2013. So. I get a letter from Central saying, can you help out the foundation? I thought, oh yeah, sure, I can send in a check, And every year I just kept on sending checks. I never realized it was 27 years, but I get these little notes once or twice a year that said, oh, you helped me take a Spanish trip, or you helped fund me a trip to Kansas City to see the Federal Reserve, or during COVID, you helped buy art supplies for me. So there's these nice little notes that I get every year, and any dollar I can give is well worth it, because you're helping them get to do things that makes you feel good that you can help them out.
And welcome back to the Omaha Central Spring Sports Showcase. We are now joined by three members of our golf program, Coach Brent Larson, Lennon Kiefer, and Isaiah Larson. But Coach, let's start out with another sport. You are a part of hockey. Last night, the Metro team beat Papio. Take us through how that team is doing. And also, I want to ask for a comment between the golf and hockey Happy Gilmore connection.
Well, I appreciate you including the hockey this time. I know last year we hijacked it. This year, we're still part of the program. We had one of our athletes playing both sports this year. We've got it again. The team is in the state tournament. After tonight, there's going to be 8 teams left. We're one of the 8, and so Sunday night, we appreciate all the support we've got. But Sunday night, Eagle Nation, come on out, playing out at Tranquility, 4:00. We'll find out who we play later. But it's been a lot of fun, great season, great guys.
Something about hitting things with other things. Isaiah, let's talk about where y'all practice. Is it difficult having to drive to the course rather than it being at Central? And what do you like about the course that you practice at?
I'd say the course that we practice at has a lot of what we see on the other courses. So it has water, it has sand. It just, it's a good course to just practice a lot of the stuff, and it has a driving range and a practice green. So we get a lot of practice doing all the other things too.
Absolutely, going through the reps. So Lennon, you recently committed to the University of Nebraska at Lincoln's PGA management program. Talk about this program, what you're excited about, and what it means for you going forward.
I'm really excited about the program. Guys down there are great. A lot of really cool opportunities internship-wise for my future, and it's just a good way to keep golf in my life for as long as I want, staying in the competitive side, and just having that a part of my life.
Absolutely. So, Coach Larson, obviously we talked about this a little bit last year, but you are indeed the coach of the boys and girls golf programs here at Central, along with being the math department head. So talk about how you balance all of these programs and what it means for you to do all three of these things.
It takes truly a team effort. My wife is extremely supportive, and so I truly thank her for putting up with all that we do. The family's awfully supportive. It's nice that Isaiah comes to the sport with us, and our coaching staff, Coach Schaefer and Coach Meyer. I can't do all of this without their support, and then the department is super supportive as well. It's a lot. It's a lot to keep straight, a lot to keep going, but once we're all in it together, it works out really well.
Absolutely. And I guess this is more a general question for all of you, but I mean, golf is a sport that does involve, missing school every so often. Talk about what that's like, how you manage that as students.
So you have to stay on top of your work for sure. He does a pretty good job at keeping us in line and making sure our grades are set. But at the end of the year, you got to study for finals, and it's just all about managing your time off of the golf course and in school.
Yeah, absolutely. And Isaiah, this one's for you. So most people have been coached by their parents at some point in their life, but your dad coaches you in hockey and golf. What is it like to work so close with your parent in sports?
I'd say it's pretty awesome getting coached by my dad. It's really helpful on the golf course, getting to play with him throughout the year, not just in golf season. So I'd say it's pretty amazing.
Absolutely. And so, Lennon, coming for you into your senior year, obviously a leader on this team, talk about what that experience has been like for you, and what are some of your goals for your last season at Central Golf?
Well, so it's been a great 4 years. A lot of great guys I've played with. Coaches have been amazing, helped me through all the golf, any competitive side that I really haven't been through since my high school season. But for this year, I'm really hoping to get to state. That's the biggest goal right there. Try to get a low individual score, so I'm hoping for around a 6 or 5 this year. But yeah, so that's my main goals for this year.
Fantastic. Isaiah, what about you? Do you have any goals for this season?
Keep playing varsity. Start shooting lower and lower.
Fantastic. Coach, how do you manage those goals as the manager of this team?
I think that's the biggest thing that we look at going into this is it doesn't matter if we're winning tournaments, losing. Every tournament we want to get better. Every practice we want to get better. And that's I would love for a team to qualify for state. That would be ultimately what we want. But if we could get individuals getting there, I would absolutely love it. Lennon is right there, close, but he's got to play well. We've got a really good group of sophomores in the mix. It's early, but maybe we could. Who knows what we could put together? So it's going to take time out on the course, putting the time in, practicing the things that we don't really want to practice, but just making sure that when that situation comes up in the match, we're not going to be taken by surprise and we'll be ready for it.
Absolutely. And I guess for our viewers at home who might not understand what golf practice looks like, it is a lot of work. So tell us what you do, what a normal day at practice looks like.
Sometimes it depends on what the weather is. We just got done talking with the boys for a little preseason meeting. We said, if it's 35 degrees or higher, we're going to go outside and we're going to play. If it's misting, if it's gross out, we're going to play. These are the conditions that they play in the tournament, and so they have to be able to. How do you swing in the weather when it's windy, when it's cold, when it's nice? What are you going to do? What do you do in those pressure situations? We make them make those 3-foot putts. We got to work on that. How do we play it when the situation's not the best for us? So as many times as we can put them in those situations. One thing I love to do is I love it when I am able to go play with the group, or Coach Schaefer is able to play with the group, or Coach Meyer is able to get in. It's fine when they're playing with their peers, but as soon as the coach steps up and plays with them, things change. And so to put them in that situation makes them ready for that tournament that we run into each week.
Absolutely. And so those are all the questions I have prepared. Are there any final things that any of you want to touch on about this upcoming season?
I'm just excited to have a young group of guys getting better every year, and hopefully further along they can piece something together as a team.
Yeah. I just want to say thank you to the teachers. You mentioned it about how hard it is for the boys to be missing school. I mean, we don't have any other option. That's when we play. We don't play on the weekends. We don't play after school. That's when the leagues and the general public is out there. So we get out for our tournaments during the school day. They got to miss those days of school. It's hard, and it's hard for the teachers to be missing those students. So it's really good to have the community that we have at Central that supports our boys, helps them out, and leads them through, because that could be real stressful, not being there for the class. So thanks to the teachers who put up with all this.
Absolutely. Once again, that was Coach Brent Larson, Lennon Kiefer, and Isaiah Larson. Thank you for joining us, and best of luck to you on your season.
All right, thank you very much.
We're good.
We come from different places.
To push past anyone standing in our way who say,
"You're not good enough.
You can't afford this." We stare down the challenges
and we tell them yes.
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 Yes,
I can. We come together with maverick spirit,
with hope,
with determination,
with passion.
We build up our community. Somos familia.
Because our community is part of us.
And we are a part of something bigger than ourselves.
We share one goal: to change the course of our lives forever.
Starts with a C, ends with an on text. Contact. Oh, good, Abby O'Brien. Oh, that's tremendous. I've been lucky to have had great teachers in my life. My mother was an educator. I think that's impressed upon me the value of having teachers that really liked their subject, knew their subject. One of the things I've sort of always tried to, express is I enjoy the subject, I enjoy teaching it, I enjoy them as students. So I can remember almost all my teachers throughout my, upbringing. Obviously teachers have a big impact on students, and I'm teaching now because of the great educators that I've had throughout my life. I had a great physics teacher. He was so engaging, so clearly enjoyed what he did that you couldn't help but just love being in that environment. If I could do it in a small way, if I can reflect any of that back for my students, well, that really would be meaningful to me.
And then we'll go to Jordan and then And welcome back to the Omaha Central Spring Sports Showcase. My name is Charlie Yale, and we are joined by the girls track program led by Coach Trent Lodge, Jordan Blair, and Maya Rogers. How are you all doing tonight?
Doing wonderful. Great.
It's fantastic to hear. So Coach Lodge, of course, you've been coaching this Central team for a while. What is the outlook for this 2024 season? Take us through the numbers and where the program is at.
Well, the program is on the upward trend, really. A lot of new faces last year. I felt like we were a pretty young team. We had about 65 girls come out last year. We're hoping for 65 to 75 girls this year. Lots of new faces have been working out over the wintertime. And these two are kind of our staple going into this season, and you'll get into them. But the thing with track and field, we're dealing with 17 different events. We've got a lot of assistant coaches. Just want to give them a shout out. Coach Givens does our distance. Coach Highland does our jumps. Coach Gass and Rouse are our throws coaches. And then I want to give a special shout out to Coach Hunter, who works with our sprinters middle distance, and he's really worked with these girls the last 3 years. He's had these girls going and a lot of our sprint middle distance girls going since last September. And they've gone October all the way up until last week. They had their final indoor meet. So he's really helped improve our sprints and middle distance and our relays. So I give him a lot of kudos for helping us, get back to where Central Track should be. And then we have a lot of other girls coming back. Taya Perkins, Maya Brezak, there are another couple sprinters, middle distance girls that'll help them out for the relays. Hurdles, we have Janai Blair, Candace Collins coming back. Distance, we have Lucy Leiter. She was our top 800, 1600 meter girl last year. She's a senior this year, so we'll need her leadership for our distance. And then we have our kind of freshman phenom, Sadie Osher. Had an awesome cross-country season. She'll be strong in the 1600, 2-mile, and the 800 for us. And then Tessa Frichet. She's a sophomore. She'll be our top thrower this year, and we're excited to have her back. So, and when we talk about track, we got a lot of girls, a lot of events, and these two are just a prime example of what we have coming back this year.
Absolutely. Before we get into that, I want you to talk a little bit about the relationship between cross country and track.
A lot of our girls in the cross country season, they'll split between soccer and track when it comes springtime. A lot of them right now, we have some that are wrestling. We have some that are doing swimming. So they like to stay active.
Absolutely. So, Jordan, you recently won the 200 and set an indoor meet record at CSM of 25.92. So take us through all the work during the off-season to see the success.
Whenever I'm not running, it's really my off-season. It's really about, what you do outside of practice and outside of conditioning and the home drills, going to open tracks and just taking the time to perfect my technique. It was a very nice win to be first and, to hold a record, something that's mine and that I got on my own merit. So.
Absolutely. How does this success help to propel you into the outdoor season at Central?
I think it has built my confidence and my faith in myself, which I lacked a little bit last season. It's given me a different perspective on, it's not about how far you are from someone, rather how close you are, and to just give me that drive and that push that I need to be number one.
Absolutely. So, Maya, during the fall, you are a setter for the volleyball team. What are some similarities and differences between track and volleyball?
Yeah, so of course they're entirely different sports. One is more like it can be observed to be a team sport. Like there's 6 people on the court, we're all rotating around. And then track is typically seen as an individual sport. You're kind of running your race. But honestly, sometimes I like to go against that idea. I like to think of track as a team sport. I feel like we have like a really strong community, and I have a really strong bond with all the girls in the track community. And I feel like it's the same way in volleyball. Like you have those people that are supporting you and like constantly motivating you to do better and like do your best. Like for example, for track, me and Jordan, we're always competing with each other, and like that's how we motivate each other to like get what we need to do done and like still have fun with it. And it's the same way for volleyball too. Like I really enjoy both seasons.
Absolutely. And as some of the top runners on this team, talk about the leadership roles that both of y'all have on this team. What's important to you and what's important to the other runners on this team?
I would say something that's really important to me is that we have people who are there to not only have fun, but also take the sport serious and know that we are out there to make a statement and bring a good attention to our school. Central is coming back. Central is definitely coming back, and we just want to show everyone out there that we're not to be played with. Like,
yeah, I definitely agree with that entire statement. Like, I think we're really there to help guide, like, especially the newer girls, people who haven't done this before, just kind of guide them in the right direction of where we want to head as a team and as a community, and kind of keep that same, like, good energy that we want to have throughout the season, so we can have that good season that we really want and have that good outcome.
Absolutely. So, Maya, your grandpa is Johnny the Jet Rogers, a legendary Husker Heisman Trophy winner. Is athleticism in the Rogers blood, and what does athletics mean to you and your family?
Yeah, so it definitely does run in the blood. My grandpa, he played football, he ran track. My dad, he played football as well and was he was a little track star. And so now I'm kind of doing the same thing pertaining to track. So it definitely is kind of going down the line, and like extended family wise, like generally we're a pretty athletic family. I think athletics is plays a really big role in our lives as a family. Like when I have track meets or when I have volleyball games, my family always like shows up and out like for everything that I do, and they're always supportive. Especially like my dad, since he's been through the same process, he's gone to those hours upon hours long of track meets, and he's always there to support. Very important part of our family dynamic.
Yeah, and just one thing to add when you were talking about the leadership part, I mean, these girls really pulled the team together last fall, and they talked to Coach Hunter and I and said, hey, we need to get these girls together. We don't want you guys, we don't want you interfering. We're going to do this. We're going to bring the girls together, and this is how it's going to be done, and this is our expectations. And that was all on them.
Absolutely.
So the leadership here is just absolutely incredible.
That's spectacular. So I want to talk once again about both of y'all. What are some goals that you have, like individually and as a team for this upcoming season? I mean, it sounds like we're really excited for the year ahead of us.
Let's see. Race-wise, my goal is to make it to state and hopefully win. I would like to run at least the 23 this year in the 200. For my team, I want to build on top of the community that we already have, so that when new girls come in, they know this is how it's going to go. And if I don't want to get with the program, then this is not a team that I need to be a part of. I want to build a space that's open to all personalities and all cultures. I want everyone to feel comfortable on our team and to go out there and do their best, no matter what their best looks like, as long as it is absolutely their best.
Yeah, I entirely agree with that. Individually, yeah, I also want to go to state. Hopefully win something in the 200, 100. I'm hoping our 4x4 team. It's looking pretty good this year. So is our 4x1. So I have pretty high expectations for this upcoming season regarding that. But yeah, when pertaining to the team, like Jordan said, I want us to have a community that everyone feels comfortable in. I don't want it to just be like a team where you just go to track every day and then you leave. I want us to have a community. I want it to be a safe space that all the girls can just go to and have fun and just do something that they really enjoy.
Absolutely. And then I kind of just want to address the elephant in the room here. Central is not a regulation track, so I guess talk about how that affects your practices. And I know it probably doesn't make too huge of a difference, but I think for people who see it, it's like.
Ever since I started at Central, I have been a part of the coaching staff in some way. So I've dealt with our old track, which was 365 meters, to our new track, which is 350 meters, 4 lanes, 6 lanes. We can still get the training done. We still plan the same types of workouts. The girls are still working hard. It's how they work is what makes them successful. Okay?
Absolutely.
We have the place to work. Although I do want to say that when we did win the Metro Track Championship, we were actually practicing at UNO when Central was under renovation when UNO had their track up here. So it does make a difference. But we make it work. We make it work just like anything at Central. We're going to make it work and we're going to be successful.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It's definitely the work ethic, not the track. It does play a part, of course. We have to adjust our workouts sometimes so we can get, if we're doing a 400 workout, we'll start a bit farther back on the track so we can get the full workout and things like that. But we really we work with what we got, and it works for us.
Absolutely. So that was the last question I had prepared for y'all, but I want to give y'all the floor if there's anything else you want to say here before we cut to break.
I'm just excited about the season. Lots of new faces. There was a lot of new faces last year. Those girls have really matured and gotten stronger with the work that they've put in. I'm very pleased with the work they put in over the wintertime, and that's just going to make us successful.
Oh, sorry. I am very excited for the season and what's going to come. I think that we are going to shock a lot of people this year and prove a lot of people wrong.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to see us coming.
Well, I know all of Eagle Nation is hoping you do exactly that. Once again, Coach Trent Lodge, Jordan Blair, Maya Rogers, thank you for joining us. We're going to cut to break. We'll be right back with you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
When we're talking about our students living in the digital age that they live in, it is so easy for them to access information and share their own perspectives. But we've also entered into the era of echo chambers online, where people often surround themselves with others with similar views. And the ability to engage in civil discourse where you're expected to back up the claims you're making with evidence is often lacking. And so helping the students to engage in that discourse, engage in that process of examination in a classroom where it's safe is so important, so that when they go to university next year or they enter, the career field next year, that they're able to engage with people who have different opinions in a respectful way, but also in a way that pushes others to think as well as themselves.
I need to try it first.
Welcome back to our Spring Short Sports Showcase. Welcome back to our Spring Sports Showcase. I'm Ann Carlson, taking over for Charlie Yale, joined by our boys baseball team, head coach Gerald Krieber, Harrison Hayquam, and Blake Demman. Coach Krieber, you've been here for several years now as the baseball coach. How have you seen the program grow in the past few years?
Well, I've been here for a while, since 2000. I've seen the program, go up and down and all around. We started out with limited numbers and we grew the program. Right now, the program's a little contracted just because of how we're getting sort of the students coming in. As far as the attendance areas and the expansion of the school district. So, I've seen all phases of this program, and I'm just excited about this year.
Talk a little bit about your expectations for this season, both as a team and for individuals.
Super high expectations for this year. We got a lot of returners. We got a pretty challenging schedule. Everything lines up for us to really, really be competitive all year. Granted that, everyone stays healthy and, we have a good preseason practice, getting ready for game number 1.
What did the off-season look like for both of you guys?
Well, I did a throwing program that has significantly helped me in velocity and control. So I feel like this year I will be even better than I was last year, having high expectations for myself. What about you?
This fall we went down to Boyd with a couple of us. It was probably a group of 9 or 10 with our summer coach, and we went up until November, taking live ABs outside, getting reps. I feel like it's going to help us stay ready and fresh for the spring season.
Coach Krieber, you have a large crew from the freshman class. What does this look like for the future of Central baseball?
Well, we're really excited about the freshmen. Simple fact is we have some numbers. Like I said, with the expansion of the school district last year, we had limited numbers. This is the first year we're just having a varsity and JV team. Due to numbers, we had to contract our reserve team, but with a group like we have of 10, 12 freshmen, we can look to get back to the 3-team system next year and just really, populate the program with kids that are excited about playing, excited about training, excited about competing.
Harrison, you recently committed to play baseball at the next level. Talk about how you're going to prepare for that in this upcoming season.
I'm kind of just going to stick to the basics, throw strikes, get outs. I got a great defense behind me, so I'm not going to have to worry too much about balls being put in play. I'm really excited for next year, though, coming into a great program that has won 40 games the past 3 seasons and is expected to do it again this year.
Blake, Mr. Wilson gave you the nickname of Secretary of Defense. That is quite the title. What type of work went into earning this title?
Well, I think as far as it goes physically, just taking reps and just taking ground balls before or after practice, during practice, even during the off season and stuff. But I think most of the work is mentally. I focused on my mental game a lot last year, and I think baseball is just a really mental game. So I think as soon as you master your mental game, that it just becomes a lot easier and you just come a lot more confident on the field.
Harrison, last year you were a force on the pitching mound, striking out 10 batters in 4 innings. What's it like to have pressure as a pitcher, and how do you stay calm?
In the moment, I don't exactly feel the pressure. I would say it's more of a before the game. As soon as I step on the mound, everything kind of just fades away. Just look at the catcher, and that's about it. It's just me and the catcher throwing a baseball. Nothing much to it.
Coach Krieber, what are some of your expectations for this season, and what are some teams you're looking forward to playing?
Our expectations is to play our best at the end of the year. we know at the beginning of the year it's going to take time to kind of gel as far as our chemistry, our execution, particularly when you're playing some really challenging teams. It's going to be a really good measuring stick right away. First 10 games, it matches up with, any of the most formidable teams scheduled in the city. And then from there, it's going to take some grit. It's going to take a lot of hard work. And we're just excited about the chance to be competitive at the end. Got to stay healthy as far as our pitchers go, as far as our position players go. But, we're excited about playing our best baseball at the end. I think with the mixture of our veterans and younger guys, we'll get that sort of energy that they're constantly pushing each other. They're not going to get frustrated in the beginning. If things don't go our way, we're just going to push through. And, the season is 6, 7, 8 weeks, and we're looking to play our best in that last week.
Harrison, Blake, where's your favorite places to play, and what are some teams you're looking forward to playing?
Personally, I am extremely excited for prep and going to Elkhorn South. They're two big teams, and I know a bunch of guys on them, so it's kind of a rivalry for me and the team. I know that West Side and Grand Island will also be big games coming up in the beginning of the season, and I'm excited to see how we do against them.
Yeah, coming off what Harry said, I think a lot of us are excited to play our rivals, Prep, West Side, and all those guys and stuff. But I think my favorite place to play is probably just Boyd. I like going home and stuff and protecting our field. I feel like it motivates me more to play better. And I think all the boys on our team like playing there and stuff, and I'm just comfortable.
Mm-hmm. What did your winter workouts look like? Can you walk us through how that prepared you for the spring season?
With me, I spent probably 3, 4, 5 days a week lifting, trying to put on 10, 15 pounds of muscle over the off season, and throwing program and hitting on my own time whenever I possibly could. That's basically what my free time was filled with. Coming out of it, it's definitely prepared me as I've gained 3 to 4 miles an hour pitching, which is really good for me since I didn't gain much size. And hitting, I'm looking to have a lot better of a batting average this year than I did last year.
Yeah, I think coming off like what Harry said, we did a lot of stuff personally, but we also did team workouts this winter. Every Saturday morning, our infield coach would take a group of us and head down to the school, and we would lift, and then we would take ground balls and work on footwork and stuff outside. And I think that's really going to help us this year and stay focused and stuff, and just working as a team, I feel like it'll help our chemistry.
Mm-hmm. Tell our viewers where we can find you this spring. What's the name of your field, and where is it located?
Our home field's at Boyd Park. It's part of the Levi Carter Park, bigger park, just on the backside of Carter Lake there, located 1 block north of 16th and Ames, right on the corner of 16th and Cornish. We welcome everybody at our home games. We do take a lot of pride in our field. I think we have one of the best urban setups around of natural grass. A lot of the surfaces has switched to turf, but we are in a city park. It is a really nice place to play and a nice place to watch a game. So I encourage all students, all faculty, all parents to come down and check it out. Games go pretty quick, and pick a nice day and come down and support the boys. It is a nice scene. Mr. Scott Wilson does a fantastic job of emceeing the games, being the DJ, and just really making it a fun atmosphere. So a shout out to Mr. Wilson for that. He's done a fantastic job of that. And we'd love to have you.
All right, that's all the questions I have for you. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
We're just excited about the year, every year brings a new host of challenges and obstacles, and I think by the end, the way things line up, if we can get better and we can, find ways to score runs and, develop as far as a team and a lot of chemistry, I'm excited about it. I know our coaches are. We got Mr. Hamill, who's coaching the JV this year for his second year, and he's really invested. Coach Bullock and Coach Hayden, who are extremely invested too. And so we're just excited. We're excited about these guys and the guys that aren't here.
I'm also excited about our coaching staff. They've been here a long time, and they do pretty much everything for us. They're probably some of the best coaches I've ever had, and I'm excited to have one last year with them since I will not be seeing a couple of them in the summer.
I'm just excited to be back on the field. It was a long off season, and I'm just ready to have fun with the team.
Thank you, Central Baseball. That was Harrison Hayquam, Coach Krieber, and Blake Demon.
My name is Leslie Gotch and graduated from Central High in 1964. Because I always want Central to be number one. You know, when I was there, we were proud to be the best high school in the state. You want that to carry on. Our yearbook. So this is the old picture of Central with the parking lot and the smokestack. My first year at Central in algebra, had Irene Eden was my teacher, and she just instilled this love of algebra, you know, and I wanted to get a perfect score on every paper, you know, and so I think the teachers, I had English, history, and math teachers that didn't always ask you, you know, questions about who, what, where, and why, but they instilled critical thinking. Meredith Brokaw, Tom Brokaw's wife, was an English teacher at Central High School. When I graduated, I got a Naval ROTC scholarship to Iowa State, and then the next year I got an appointment to the Naval Academy. So I graduated from the Naval Academy in 1969, and then I went to work for the Navy in D.C. for 4 years, and to Maryland, and worked for one of the intelligence agencies for the next 29 years in computers. So retired in 2013. So. I get a letter from Central saying, you know, can you help out the foundation? I thought, oh, yeah, sure, I can send in a check, you know. And every year I just kept on sending checks. I never realized it was 27 years, but I get these little notes once or twice a year that said, oh, you helped me take a Spanish trip, or you helped fund me a trip to Kansas City to see the Federal Reserve, or during COVID, you helped buy art supplies for me. So there's these nice little notes that I get every year. And any dollar I can give is well worth it, because you're helping them get to do things that makes you feel good that you can help them out.
And we're back with girls soccer. I'm joined by Maddie Hartley, Coach Samantha Foster, and Skylar Oldenburg. Coach, you're an alumni of Central High School, and you played under assistant coach Denton. Being an alumni, what's it like to give back to the team you played for?
It's really awesome. Central really shaped who I am as a person today, and my coaches, like Coach Denton, played a huge role in that. They helped me build the confidence to become a better player and a better individual, and knowing that I'm in a position and have the opportunity to do the same with this generation is just really fulfilling and rewarding.
Being an assistant coach, what are your goals and plans for this season? And as a JV coach last year, how did you work to develop the girls to get them to the next level?
So as an assistant varsity coach and the head JV coach, my goals for the girls are the same across the board. Get better with every practice, every game, and have fun while doing it. We were 9-1 as a JV team last year, and I just hope that we stay on the same path this year and elevate the girls' confidence and skills to hopefully make it on the varsity team next year or be able to play at the next level.
Skylar and Maddie, you've both been members of the varsity team since your freshman year. What's it like to be a part of this team for so long?
I think I love it. I love the team, and I love everyone on it, everyone that's come and go. I think it's super encouraging being on the team for 4 years and being able to see the development in both all of our fundamentals on and off the field, and how our chemistry has grown, and just how we've really become a family over the past 4 years.
I really think the leadership skills that me and Maddie have personally achieved over the years have really helped us become who we're gonna play and who we will be today. And I really think that our leadership on and off the field is gonna really help the team this year.
Skylar, you recently committed to go play soccer at Wartburg. How are you gonna work this spring to get ready for the next level?
So my coach is going to be basically sending out summer packets of stuff that we're going to be doing, but I'm going to be preparing outside of the summer packet. I'm also going to regionals with my club team for President's Cup, which will be exciting, and then we'll get advanced to nationals if we do well in that, which will be exciting. So that will help me prepare playing those extra games and helping myself get better to help the team.
Maddie, last year you moved your position to center back and you had to step up, and you did a really great job back there. What are you thinking for this year, playing that position again?
I think I will be. I've been talking with the coaches, and they say that I'm going to be the center back. Last year we played a 3-back system, so I'm honestly hoping to do that same thing, but I guess we'll just see as the season goes on.
Skylar, last year you played outside back as well as outside mid. What is your role in these positions?
Yeah, so playing outside back, you have to really be able to read the field and understand when you're able to go up with the ball and knowing when to stay back and help defend. But also playing outside mid, you have to know when it's your time to as well go up, but also making sure that you're able and fit to make the field runs going forward and backwards.
Mm-hmm. And as a team, both JV and varsity practiced last year at Blackburn, which was a change from our narrow field. How do you think this impacts the game?
I think the narrow field we have to be more aware of our space and our surrounding and how we make sure that we don't get all bunched up and gravitate towards the ball all the time, because on bigger fields we have more space where we can dribble the ball more and just create more opportunities. So with a narrow field, we have to have our fundamentals of soccer down to a point to where we can use the little space we have to our advantage.
Coach, your husband is the head coach of the girls wrestling team. How do you think you're going to bring the oos culture into the girls soccer team?
Yeah, I think just being able to create an inclusive, safe environment for all of our players that allows them to reach their potential in the classroom, on the pitch, and outside in their community, so that they can become, better individuals, not just now, but in the future once they graduate Central. And I think just allowing them to flourish in our program will really allow us to incorporate that culture.
This year, the schedule had a few more changes. The soccer team added Millard West as well as Bellevue West. How are you guys looking forward to playing some of these powerhouse teams?
I think so. We had played them, I think it was sophomore year, we played Millard West, and we had a really good we knew it was going to be a hard team, and we really fought towards that team. I know some of the players, like Kaylee Fisher, had a really good goal. So we're just looking to help improve, like, as a team and not just, like, an individual this year. I think we're going to use the harder teams to help us build as, like, a culture.
Mm-hmm.
I think that those two teams are, like, skill-wise, we are pretty even. So they're very good matches where we can show off our skills, but also, you know, like, it's a very even game where we have a lot of possession, but we also have a lot of areas where we need to defend. So it'll be extremely interesting to play them.
Mm-hmm. I think that also kind of goes back to being able to practice at Blackburn and play at Central. We're adaptive as teams. We're able to practice on a bigger field, which most schools play on. So when we get to a big field, we're not scared to play. We kind of know how those fields work. But then we have the advantage at home, playing at home. We know it's a narrow, shorter field or longer field. And most teams aren't prepared for that. So I think add whoever you want into our schedule. We'll take them.
Mm-hmm. What games are you most excited for this season?
I think I'm most excited for the Duchenne game at the Morrison Stadium because that's a big field, and I feel like with us, we really do take that opportunity and we use the space to our advantage. So, and just like playing there, that's just so exciting.
Yeah, I think I'd have to add on that. We, as a team, haven't been able to play at Morrison Stadium, and it's kind of a big achievement to play there, so I think that'll be a really fun game.
Mm-hmm. What are your goals as an individual and as a team this season?
I personally want to build on my leadership skills, communication, and working more confidently on the ball, which I've struggled with high school season. I feel like the lack of pressure of being like the freshman and sophomore like starters on varsity, that's kind of been tough on me, but that's kind of what I'm working with this year.
Yeah, I would have to agree with Skylar. I think as a team, I hope that we can build chemistry as we have in the past, but that definitely just takes time. And then individually, if I do take on that center back role again, I just hope to have as little team score on us as possible.
Mm-hmm. That's all the questions I have for you. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Go Eagles.
Yeah. Kick off.
Thank you. That has been the girls soccer team with Maddie Hartley, Coach Foster, and Skylar Oldenburg.
We come from different places.
To push past anyone standing in our way who say,
"You're not good enough."
You can't afford this. We stare down the challenges.
And we tell them yes.
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 Yes, I can.
We come together with Maverick spirit.
With hope.
With determination.
With passion.
We build up our community. Somos familia.
Because our community is part of us.
And we are a part of something bigger than ourselves.
We share one goal. To change the course of our lives forever.
And welcome back. I'm joined by the boys track team with Andrew Brown, Ike Ackerman, and Coach Wayne Reynolds. Coach, what are you most looking forward to this season, and where do you want to see the most improvement?
Ooh, loaded question. So I guess to make it easy, I hope these two win 2 events at state. We have maybe a handful of maybe 2, 3, maybe 4, podium, top 3 finishes at state, and win state. So thanks for coming out. God bless. Good night. No.
Coach, you've had a pretty successful past in track. You've been a 3-time state champion as a 110 high hurdle and a 300 low hurdler at the University of South Dakota. You've qualified for nationals as a junior and senior, and now you're running for Masters track and field, and you've been ranked as high as 4th in the world, and you're a 3-time national champion. How has all this success helped you translate to coaching?
I don't know who that is. No. Yeah, it's a lot. And I'm sorry I did skip over the question. We do have a lot of great improvements coming this year. We have people working hard. We have 3 sport athletes. And I have, I've seen gentlemen working hard since, early fall and even this winter. So we have a lot of great improvements happening, a lot of people that, just wanted to continually move up. So that's a good thing. Got a lot of improvements coming, a lot of good things coming, a lot of hard work. So how we improve is just sticking to the recipe. It's just consistency, really. That's it. Being a good chef, having that recipe ironed out well. So you get the groceries, then you have to cook the meal. We want to eat every day, so let's practice every day. But yeah, in terms of, state, college, master's track, I mean, man, you make me sound old, but I got 1 gray hair. So, yeah, it's a lot, but I feel like ultimately the way this will help the team is I've been there. So now I'm not as tall as these guys, but I've had to deal with the pain. I've had to deal with the humility. I've had to deal with, embarrassment. So I've had to deal with all the classic things that, you find in the hero journey. So I don't want to let go of that. I think too often we think, oh, I'll just show up and it'll just be fine. I'll just show up and it'll just be easy. And that is not the story. None of you would be sitting here if it was, easy, So it takes work. It takes effort. You have to, constantly work and be consistent with those recipes. And we're just going to keep pressing forward toward the goal.
You two are both 3 sport athletes. Andrew, on top of being one of the best hurdlers in the state, you're also being recruited to play football. What are some of the things factoring into this, and what do you plan on doing at the next level?
Right now, I really don't know what I'm going to do at the next level. Just trying to get through the high school experience because being recruited for football and track is push me to, keep working every single day because it shows that the hard work is paying off.
Mm-hmm. Ike, last year as a sophomore, you showed well at state, and in basketball and football, you've also been showing well. How do these sports translate to each other, and how is track helping you with the other sports?
I feel like track, I'm a thrower. It makes me really explosive. I have explosive hips, which helps me get up in basketball, dunk, helps me in football, obviously running, jumping, whatever I need to do. So I think all of them kind of help each other because basketball will get me a little more conditioned. Football will get me conditioned. I think they all kind of help each other in their own different ways, but I think track helps me more with both because I get explosive in it.
Mm-hmm. Andrew, you're a senior. Talk about the leadership roles that comes along with this and explain some of your hopes for the team and the rest of the season.
Well, being a senior, leadership role does come with that. And during my experience, I really just lead by example, try to show them what to do. But I also can lead verbally and tell them, help them out because, freshmen, sophomores coming in, I've been through what they've been through, so I can help them that way. And the goals for the team, just like he said, win state. We do have the pieces. We just got to put them together. So, yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about what the off season looked like? Obviously, both of you two were involved in other sports, but what did it look like for the rest of the team?
I mean, I'll speak for myself on this one, but I obviously had basketball, so I couldn't go after school. So me, my dad, who coaches me, and Coach G, our lifting coach, we're in the weight room almost every day at 6:30 a.m., which it's not the greatest to be in the weight room at 6:30 on a Monday, but I mean, that's just a part of it. If you have the goals that we have as a team, then you gotta get the groceries for it, I guess.
The groceries.
Your turn.
My off season, most of the time I just been doing the sports that I we're in season. But some of the times when it's better weather outside or when it's not, like in my basement, I set up a few hurdles, do a few hurdle drills, just to keep in rhythm, keep my hips loose. So when it comes to track season, I'm ready to go.
Now, for both of you, let's focus on what's next for this season. What do you hope to improve on, and what are your personal goals?
It's you first.
I go first. Well, my personal goal is to, break his 300-meter record, but to also, break 37 because that's my personal goal. Because you see all around the world people breaking 37, but you don't really see it in Nebraska that people break 37 at 300-meter hurdles. So, yeah.
For me, I think discus-wise, I want to get around 200, and that will set me really good in recruiting. But I say 200, but, I mean, the state record's 203. So, I mean, might as well just shoot for the state record this year. And then, obviously, I just want to go undefeated this year. Don't lose a meet, go straight to state, and win that too, in both my events. But also, I just wanted to kind of prove to myself that I can do it because, I don't know, when I was a kid, I wasn't that good, but now that I've kind of took this journey, I really just want to show that I'm I'm about it, I guess.
About it.
All right, well, that's all the questions I have for you. Is there anything else you'd like to tell our viewers?
Yeah, we got a few stuff.
I think the easy thing, as I stated earlier, is to just assume that you have the win. We all wake up and we're champions every day, but you do have to be consistent with your recipe. I mean, we all eat, you got to get groceries every Sunday. I mean, usually Sunday. Yeah. Sunday, Friday.
Saturday.
And we're surrounded by professionals, so we want to show that when we're out in public. We're surrounded by great teachers, great staff. Professionalism isn't just something we say, it's what we want to echo when we're out in public. So professionalism, great recipes, and the heroic journey. I mean, I think we've all watched movies. There isn't one hero that doesn't have some type of humility, embarrassment, or struggle in their story. So it's a journey. Let's embrace the journey.
Humility.
Yeah.
Couldn't have said better.
If you know, you know, bro. If you know, you know.
That's all.
That's all. All right, thank you, boys track. That's Coach Reynolds, Andrew Brown, and Ike Ackerman.
Thank you.
Starts with a C, ends with an on-text. Contact. Oh, good, Abby O'Brien. That's tremendous. I've been lucky to have had great teachers in my life. My mother was an educator. I think that's impressed upon me the value of having teachers that really liked their subject, knew their subject. One of the things I've sort of always tried to, express is I enjoy the subject, I enjoy teaching it, I enjoy them as students. So I can remember almost all my teachers throughout my, upbringing. Obviously teachers have a big impact on students, and I'm teaching now because of the great educators that I've had throughout my life. I had a great physics teacher. He was so engaging, so clearly enjoyed what he did that you couldn't help but just love being in that environment. If I could do it in a small way, if I can reflect any of that back for my students, well, that really would be meaningful to me.
it's fine.
Welcome back. I'm joined by the boys soccer team, Braden Anderson, Coach Nick Webster, and Tavo Miranda. It's a big years for both of you guys. Coach, it's your second year as a head coach in this program. And Tavo and Braden, this is your final year as players. What are you looking forward to this season?
I'm looking forward to just spending time with the guys.
Yeah.
This season's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's about the same. I'm playing with my OHA guys. I mean, it's our last season. We got to go crazy today. Or not today. You know what I meant. We got to go crazy eventually, which we will. But we got fun.
It was my turn?
Yeah.
Oh, so, me, I'm real competitive. I got competitive guys. They can be here. They can sit here and be modest if they want to, but we talk about this almost every day. We want to go crazy. And by go crazy, I mean we want to win. Right? We want to have fun. We want to win. We want to be real competitive. But if winning don't happen within that, then we're going to be pretty sour. I won't lie to you.
What are some of your expectations for this season, and what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to building chemistry. We got some new guys, got some new talent in. And then we also got some guys that we started building with last year, my first year. So I'm looking forward to, watching them get along. Last year we had kind of a lot of separation, and I'm trying to dead that. So I don't really want to see that this year, but I want them to build chemistry, get along, and really just love one another. You know what I mean? So build that. I try to build a family environment, and that's kind of what it takes.
Both of you are seniors. Can you talk about your role on the team as leaders?
As leaders, our role is to make sure that everybody first grades. If your grades are bad, then you're not gonna be able to play. It's just as simple as that. But on the field, it's get along, make sure you communicate, make sure you have fun. But overall, just have fun. If you don't have fun, it's not gonna be. Nobody's gonna have fun if you're playing with them. So other than that, another role as a leader, I would say, is just making sure that we are role models for them. If we gotta make sure that we take care of ourselves because they're watching us. If we don't take care of ourselves, then they can fall off way worse than others.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, just be role models for the younger guys. Make sure we're leading, speak up, make sure that they stay in line and aren't goofing off so that we're serious because we want to win.
Coach, you wanted to include 5 leaders for this showcase, but due to space, we couldn't have all 5 members. What do those other 3 players bring to the team?
So I got 5 seniors. I call it Downtown 5. I don't know if y'all saw the photo shoot on our Instagram, our new Instagram. But each leader brings something else, right? A different quality, right? Whether it be like they just said, being a role model, whether it be, giving constructive criticism, whether it be holding everybody else accountable. But one thing about me is that I'm a player's coach. And so when we talk about those 5 leaders, right, I guide them, right, and I ask them to do things, and I put them in leadership roles. But they know if something goes south, then they're the ones that are, going to get the toughest talking to. But they all bring something different, man. They just, it's just whether it be intensity, like I said, communication, physicality, holding everybody accountable. But once again, you sort of want that leadership to you don't want to put one person in charge, right? I could go and say, hey, man, you the one sole captain, you the one sole leader. But, everybody's personality is different, all right? And all 5 of their personalities are different. So some people on my team might not respond well to Braden, or they might not respond well to Tavo. They might not respond well to me, but they may respond well to Kayshawn, or may respond well to Angel or Ayub. So just everybody's different, so you want to try to put different people in charge with different personalities.
Last year, you started the season on a high, winning several in the row. What do you need to do this again this season?
Not get too high, not get too low. Because last year we was way turned. It was my first year here, and that's what I wanted to do. I said, this is what we're going to do, and that's what we was doing. And then we had a couple injuries. Then it kind of started going south. And once again, I mean, last year we weren't that deep as far as with talent like we are this year. And I'm not afraid to say that. It is what it is. But this year we're pretty deep with talent, and so all we need to do is, one, keep the energy, right? And if something goes south, we can't put our heads down for weeks at a time like we did last year. And then also, we have to, when we're winning, right, and we're doing well, we got to keep doing the things that helped us get to that point, right? We can't start doing well and then and get comfortable, right? Because when we got to the point where we were 4-0 and we were ranked 11th, and then we saw prep, and everybody in this room know how that went. Well, not y'all, but some of the people in front of the camera know how that went. So we want to keep the pace, we want to keep the intensity, we want to keep the physicality, we want to keep the competitive nature. And if something goes south, we don't want to be hanging our heads for weeks at a time.
Mm-hmm. Braden and Tavo, you've got a ton of talent on this team. How do you work together to create a unit rather than just having a bunch of individual stars?
As a unit, I would say, as leaders, we take them all. We try to figure out what they're all good at, and we would either we split them up or we put them together and to mix all of that talent and skill. To put them all together, I would say that the games at the open fields that we have every other day or at practice, it brings them together because they have fun, but they also understand how serious it is. So they got to at least either get better or they got to figure out what they need to work on in order for us to move forward in the season.
Yeah, I would just say that we just need to work on chemistry in practice to bring all those talents together. In order to win, we need to bring those all together just to win. And what was I gonna say? Just the chemistry. It's really important.
Talk a little bit about the off season, what the workouts looked like, and how it prepared you for this spring.
Hey, those workouts, they were intense. A lot of running, a lot of weightlifting. Mm-hmm. Mainly the running, the conditioning wise. That's what is really gonna get us in shape for the season, because apparently some people are struggling, some people aren't struggling with it. So I think the conditioning, running, the lateral drills, the 80 mile or 80 yard sprints, that's really gonna help us this season.
Yeah, I'd say the conditioning, as well as the CrossFit. We did CrossFit workouts every week, and it really built endurance, muscle endurance. We were really working, and then also strength lifting. We were building the muscles so we can't get knocked off the ball super easily.
Thanks. Oh, you want me to go? Oh, my fault. Well, I always mix calisthenics, CrossFit, and muscle building weights. And then we did get out and condition a lot more this year. I thought that was a sort of strength that we needed to work on. That's something we needed to perfect, was our fitness last year. Because last year I did a lot of weightlifting and CrossFit in the off season, but it didn't necessarily translate to the field. And game day, we got guys that could play 50 minutes. We got guys that could play 60 minutes, but we didn't have a bunch of guys that could play 80 minutes. And we go into overtime, and I don't got guys that can play 100 minutes. And if we go to PKs after that, I didn't have guys that can finish. Now I think when I added that extra bit of conditioning, all right, I think that's going to set us apart from a lot of the teams that we were sort of neck and neck with, and some of the teams that people think that we can't hang with. I think it's going to be a different story this year.
Mm-hmm. What games are you guys looking forward to most?
West Side and Prep.
Yep.
Them too.
I'm looking forward to the West Side Prep stretch that we have. I'm definitely looking to get back and win those games.
See, I was even here, but from what I heard is that y'all did some damage to them, and they my boys. So I'm here now, so y'all gonna have to deal with me.
Yeah. And
I promise you, we're gonna do some damage to y'all. Promise you that.
Talk to him, big dog. Talk to him. Promise you that. Talk to him. I'm looking forward to all the games. If you ever watch me coach and you see what my sideline is like, you see what my players is like, we turned up, right? One thing that I would say that I need to work on as a coach is trying to have a short memory, right? Because I'm still kind of young. Not super young, though. I got a bad hamstring right now. But I get too high sometimes as a coach because I want them to, keep doing well. But then when stuff happens, sometimes I get super duper low. I have to demonstrate how to sort of stay level-headed for these guys that are going to go on and, play at the next level or continue to get better. I can't only demonstrate, what it's like to be a player or be a player at the next level or be a top athlete, I got to demonstrate what it's like to, be a good leader and to be a good person. So that's one of the things that I thought about all off season and that I really wanted to work on as a coach. Yeah, I'm a coach. Yeah, I'm going to get on you. Yeah, I want you to run fast. Yeah, I want you to lift. Yeah, I want you to be physical. But at the end of the day, are you a good person? Can you help somebody else get better? All right, can somebody see what you're doing and say, dang, I want to do that? Or dang, I want to be like that. Dang, that was nice the way he gave him criticism or the way he, gave him his props. I want to be like that when I get their age. So there's stuff I'm working on. And back to your question, like I said, I'm ready for all the games, man. After we lost the district semifinal last year, I got right to work, film room, all that. So this is months and months of built-up energy that now next week when we start practice, and then on March 14th, I get to give out. So I'm ready.
Mm-hmm. You guys have a fundraiser coming up in the next week called Wings on Web. Can you talk a little bit about that and how our viewers can get involved?
So, like I said, when I'm trying to build this program or when I'm shaping this program to be, it's a family environment. So not only do I got the Downtown 5, but I got a fundraising committee on my team. And I think there's like 7 or 8 kids. And at first, when we were brainstorming, Braden was like, let's do a 3-on-3 basketball tournament. But then I was thinking because we did one already. We did a dodgeball tournament already. And then I was thinking, man, it's already basketball season. I don't know how many people would play. And then I thought about it. I said, let's do a dodgeball tournament. And, we can't really give out money as a prize, right? That would kind of be illegal. Cut that out. But I said, man, who don't like wings? Everybody likes wings for the most part. And so then I said, Webb, my last name is Webb. We got wings. So then I texted group chat. I said, how about wings on Web? And I said, whoever's the winner, we can't give them money, but we can give them a 50-piece wing from Wingstop. And so when we ran that first one, it was in December.
Yeah.
We had a good turnout. It was turned up. The gym was packed on the floor. The bleachers weren't out. Played music. We had teams from the community. We had adult teams there. We had kid teams there. And if you can go back and look at the videos on our Instagram and the flyers, I really bought wings. I really do this. I usually do what I'm a man of my word, and I do what I say. So, yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing I have to say about that is that I just liked, in years past, when there's been fundraisers held, there hasn't been a lot of diversity. And when he started it, he brought in a whole bunch of new people and a bunch of diversity that I really enjoyed being around and playing against.
Facts. When you look at the team and this family that we building, everyone is different. All right, everyone is different. Everybody comes from different backgrounds. Everyone's different ethnicities. Everyone has a different home life, including myself. And my coaching staff is different. So we don't look like one thing, and we're not all just one thing. So the diversity of the fundraiser speaks to the diversity of the program that I'm trying to build, and it also speaks to the diversity of Central High School. You walk into Central High School, you're not going to see the same person twice. I promise you that.
That's all the questions I have for you. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
It's about that time. Talk to them. What's to you? Downtown Turn.
Thank you.
That's better than the cacao.
Facts.